All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone who's joining us today. My name is Nick Shields, and I am your MC for the Kensington K12 Product Showcase. I am joined today by two fellow presenters, David Peterson and Tanya Meza. We are also joined and lucky today to have Philip Gutierrez, our Senior Regional Product Manager. He is a panelist, but he's here for moral support and just to basically help us out if we get into any kind of a jam here, which I don't think will happen, but thanks again for joining us, Phil. I also want to give a big thank you to Frank Romano, who is basically producing this segment for us back in San Francisco. It's not easy running these virtual events when people are all over the country like we are. I am in Texas. Dave Peterson is in New York. Tanya's also in another part of Texas. So thank you for Frank for keeping us up and running. I also want to first and foremost thank everyone who's online with us today. As many of you probably read in the invite, our K12 team works very hard, spends a good portion of the year traveling to different trade shows and hosting focus groups, soliciting advice and ideas that are brought back and shared with our engineering department to help in the development of new products and enhancement of current ones. To summarize, we listen to what you have to say and incorporate that into future designs of products. So if we can take a quick look at the agenda, the next slide here. All right, so we've done the welcome, so we're off to a really good start here. A couple of housekeeping items. All of your mics are muted, so please feel free to squeal with glee or just shout out, "I need that," when you see something you like. We can't hear you, but we'll know you said it. Just trust us, we'll know. We'll also be donating $5 for everyone in attendance to the wonderful charity No Kid Hungry. This is an amazing organization that provides meals to kids who normally would go hungry, especially during the summer months when schools are closed and school lunches are sometimes their only meals. So thank you again, everyone who is on with us today. Just by joining us, you can say you did something awesome to help kids in your community. As I said earlier, you are all muted for the presentation, but that does not mean we do not want to hear from you. So please leave any and all questions in the comment box, and we're going to get to those at the end. So if you have an idea that pops up, share that, but also not today. If you come up with ideas or questions later, I'm going to give you some information on how to get in contact with us at a later date. So we're always looking to hear from everybody. So without further ado, let's get started. We broke this presentation up into 2/3 sections. And I say that because we're going to explore products that help the front of office staff and products that are designed for use inside the classroom by both teachers and students. I'm going to introduce the front office portion of the event, and then Dave and Tanya will share with you the in-class portions. So you can kind of see where that 2/3 comes in. Like I said, we're going to start with the front office. And the first product we're going to look at is the WindFall tablet stand. This cool contraption provides secure counter mounting for any number of tablets, as you can see on the right. Securely pivot and spin your WindFall stand with a pivot table. This comes complete with a click-safe anchor that can accommodate any Kensington click-safe lock that is sold separately. The stand is sturdy and secure and looks great at the same time. The stand is cut from high quality steel and mounts your tablet at the perfect angle for any number of uses like signing in guests or those tardy students. Tamper resistant screws provide peace of mind, ensuring your tablet isn't going anywhere without you knowing. Complete with integrated cable management, this helps to keep your tablet powered throughout the day and eliminate cable clutter by threading your power cord through the mouse holes on the side of your WindFall stand. I feel like the announcer on The Price is Right. I feel like I should be having y'all bid on these items. I hope you guys find these jokes funny. Our next item up for bid is the FreshView Wellness Monitor Stand with air purifier, designed to improve employee wellness and increase productivity. The stand elevates the monitor to promote a healthy posture and optimize comfort for the neck and shoulders. The 3-in-1 air purification system provides ozone-free advanced filtration using a HEPA 11 filter, which removes 95% of common pollutants. This includes PM 2.5, which, if you're not familiar, these are the tiny particles in the air that reduce visibility and cause the air to appear hazy when levels are elevated. It also removes mold, bacteria, dust particles, odor, and gases caused by smoking, new construction, new furniture, pets, or cooking. We've probably all had that experience where someone has cooked fish in a microwave. This isn't going to get rid of all of that, but it's certainly going to help. Also, one filter is designed to last up to 2,000 hours, and we do sell cost-effective replacement kits. So this is just a great thing to really help your front of office staff that is in a lot of high traffic areas. Just gives them a nice, fresh, clean air around them. The next couple of items we're going to take a look at deal with security. In 2019, Kensington started offering shredders. While it's true laptops are the biggest source of exposure when it comes to data breaches, they can also occur from the careless disposal of printed paper containing confidential information. Kensington shredders comes in 2 flavors, auto feed and manual. Both versions use the latest in anti-jam technology and provide long runtimes to ensure seamless, uninterrupted shredding. I encourage you to visit Kensington.com. We have a great section on why Kensington for shredders. It's really easy to follow, and it helps you kind of dive down and find the right device for you. Next, we're going to take a look at the Verimark Biometric Fingerprint Scanner. There are a million technical reasons I can give you on why these are cool, but the highlights are fingerprints are hard to duplicate. Don't let the movies fool you. Advanced fingerprint technology combines superior biometric performance and 360-degree readability with anti-spoofing protection. That basically means it's not easy for someone to duplicate and mimic your fingerprint. You can enjoy out-of-the-box access for Windows computers and platforms, including biometric login for Windows Hello. You can also use this as a second factor authentication for cloud-based services and software providers like Google, Dropbox, GitHub, and Facebook. Essentially, your fingerprint is all you need to get access to your device. This provides an extra layer of security and protection. It's also a great alternative for those of you who are constantly resetting passwords for your faculty and staff. Another tool, I encourage you to visit our website to learn more about our biometric offerings. We have a lot of great resources, really cool 1-minute animated videos that really help break this down and make it easy to understand. So please visit Kensington.com to learn a bit more about this great tool. Biometrics is going to be the standard and not the exception pretty soon. Next, we're going to get our first look. I think we promised in our invite we're going to have some sneak peek at some new things. So take a look at the Kensington Mag Pro privacy screen for monitors and laptops. This patented Mag Pro monitor and laptop privacy screen with magnetic strip can be attached and removed quickly and easily, offering best-in-class privacy protection. This is an excellent solution for slim bezel or edge-to-edge displays, and the privacy screen also protects monitors from scratches and damage. All this while providing privacy by limiting viewing angles of plus to minus 30 degrees. So basically, if you got shoulder surfers on your left or your right, they need to be right on top of you to see what's on your screen. It also reduces harmful blue light by up to 22%, diminishes glare, and improves clarity. It is reversible for your choice of a matte or glossy viewing option. It comes with an antibacterial cleaning cloth, a protective case to help prevent scratches when it's not in use, and these screen protectors are TAA compliant. This probably doesn't affect any of you, but just in case any of you is an undercover government operative, we're not going to tell anybody. Basically means these are safe for use in the federal space. So just an added bonus. Okay, so that was what our front of office. What we're going to do right now is do a first one of 2 polls. You should see a poll question on your screen, and you should see a poll popping up via the GoToWebinar. Frank is going to be executing that. We're going to take 30 seconds to check this out. I think there should be some music playing here, but I don't think we have that. Okay, if you haven't answered, please do. If you're, give about 4 more seconds, 5 more seconds here. Okay, so 20% of you have a school or in a school district been a victim of data breach. That's interesting to know. Thank you for sharing that. We're gonna have another poll later on, just to kind of keep this fun and interactive. All right, so let's get back to it. I want to introduce everyone to David Peterson, a man with over 20 years of experience in the K12 space. Many of you know him, most of you love him. The rest of you just have not met him yet. Please, I want to give a big welcome to Dave Peterson.
Thanks, Nick. So I love working with you guys. As you know, the ladies and gentlemen that I work with have our focus groups or provide samples in an effort to learn how to make these better products. I just can't tell you how much I love getting yelled at by you when it comes time to tell us what can we do to make a better product. Not that we need to make a better product, because listening to people complain and tell us how to make it better comes up with a better product. So some of those items that you've seen that Nick had that talked about came from specific examples, and in the classroom there are some other items that we can use that came directly from your advice. And so one of the very first ones is the charging. So think about this. You can't answer, but how many of you have charging cabinets that are huge? They started off in the media center because you only had 30 devices or 30 Chromebooks, and then you checked them out like books, and they rolled down the hallway and you needed 30 of them. But now you're putting them in every classroom. So what you see on the screen now are all devices that hold 12 or fewer devices. They are small, they're stackable. The one on the left it looks big, but it rolls underneath a standard height 30-inch table. We have many installations where we've stacked them too high, and you end up with being able to put 24 or more in a classroom. Same thing with the charge and sync cabinet in the middle. That's made specifically for iPads. We do have a lightning connectors, and we now have USB-A to USB-C connectors that allow it to charge at a slower rate, but it's something that still allows you to charge. These are all built up to Kensington specs in that you can't break into them. Well, I guess you could, but it would require a big sledgehammer. These things are really designed to be portable, to be small, to be unobtrusive, and honestly, they came from you guys. So thanks. We want more advice. Please contact us. Let us know what we can do to make them better. Today's environment is changing so quickly that we need to stay ahead of the curve. The next item that we've got, it became really apparent last couple of years. Now think about this. As you're out there, fairly standard, when you buy a Chromebook or a laptop, you typically buy 100 Dells or HPs or whatever they are, and you buy 100 of the old proprietary form factor docks that you click them into. Nowadays, everything is USB-C. So the proprietary docks are going away, and these sort of USB-C type docks that do charging are coming out. When the COVID crisis hit, we had a big requirements for lots of school districts. Teachers were all complaining, I'm at home, I'm trying to teach now. And you should have seen some of the pictures that you sent to me. Teachers sitting with their laptop in their lap and a big monitor on the kitchen table or on the couch. We had many school districts that said, not only do I want to put them in the classroom like I did last year, I've already got them in the classroom, I want to send them home with the teachers. So we have some like this one here that's kind of middle of the road, and we have some that are portable, like the next one that we're going to show you here, that teachers can take home. They can power their devices. This one has power pass-through. They're very inexpensive. Have you ever got calls from your teacher saying, oh my gosh, I got a new device and I can't hook up my laptop, or I can't hook up my monitor to it because I don't have a VGA connector, I don't have a DisplayPort connector? So we really work hard to come up with docking stations that have those connectors built into them. And if they don't, as you'll see in the next slide, we have a number of different types of connectors that allow us to go from old USB-A to USB-C. These hubs are the ones that you see there are good for powering. They're good for attaching different devices. Webcams are a big deal right now. Webcams, the document cameras. These are things that are in great usage right now. These USB hubs and cable and video adapters are also very important. Hey, here's one. You will look at the one on the left side, and you see it needs to go from USB-C to that looks to be display port. You have the same thing for USB-C to VGA, and looks like USB-C to dual USB-C there. So these are all sort of things that honestly they came from your suggestions. There's also a whole bunch of different types of video cables and adapters that are just standard video cables. We don't try to be all things to all people, but we do try to really hit the needs of the K12 folks that are out there. There's a whole bunch of them. Our website is simple. It's kensington.com, and it's really easy thanks to our marketing team to get through, to peruse through. You can see all kinds of things. Again, I don't know how many times I've said this. Those of you who know me, we love your advice. Kids need to hear. They need to hear what the teacher's saying. They don't want to listen to what the teachers are saying sometimes. They act like they don't. And a lot of times they say, my headphones aren't comfortable, or they break the headphones. Or how many of your kids have chewed through their headphones? How many of your 3.5 millimeter adapters have broken off in the Chromebooks? That's what I'm talking about when I say, folks, give us your advice. So we've come up with a bunch of different design characteristics that make it so these headphones with microphones, we also have headphones without microphones, have really good adapters. They don't break off so easily in the Chromebooks. A lot of them need USB-A. Some of them need microphones, some of them don't. And here's a new product, USB-C. Everybody says you need to start coming up with USB-C devices. So this USB-C headphone is coming out very soon. And again, we love you guys. We love your opinions. And these are just some of the new and older products that we'd love to hear your opinions on. Thanks, Nick. I think we got a poll question. Is that true
Dave.
now?
Yep, we got our second poll question here. It's very much related to what Dave just asked. How many of you have had to replace headphones because of students breaking off the 3.5 millimeter tip in the device? I can already see this is a big one. So 80%, this is the complete inverse of the last poll. 80% say they have. We're gonna go about 10 more seconds here. Get your vote in.
Nick, I don't mean to interrupt, but just to say, we've set up many lab samples for our headphones, and it's almost exactly, again, inverse. The 80-20 rules inverse on our headphones. Yeah,
that's great. All right, so we're going to end this poll, and yeah, same there. We have about 80% said they have had to replace headphones because of that, and I should have put a second question in there, and maybe we'll do this later, but how many people have had to actually replace the device? That'd be an interesting question if you can't get that. I mean, I guess the device is still usable, but it can't be used for some of its original intended purposes, but that's for another day. Let's see. Now, last but not least, I am pleased to introduce you to Tanya Meza. She is the star of the hit YouTube miniseries What's in the Bag, where Tanya introduces her 5 favorite K12 items. Episode 3 will be premiering this Friday. If you haven't checked it out, go to our YouTube page and check it out. She's going to be a star. They're probably going to recruit her away from us, be on the Disney Channel soon. Tanya also brings over 20 years of experience to Kensington, including time spent in your ranks as a teacher. So Tanya, take us home on the last group of products, please.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick, for the introduction. You're too kind, of course. You can tell me later how much I owe you for that nice intro there. Many of you know Dave and I, we're usually traveling around and we're rarely in our home offices. And like some of you that might be on this call right now, I have personally found myself at home with two school-age children learning from home for the last couple of months. And so I'm actually really excited to share with you some of the products that I'm going to be showing you, because I've actually seen my kids using these products in the last couple of months. So the first one here is my son used this. This is our Keyboard for Life wireless desktop set. It features a full keyboard and mouse. It has a wireless connection that has a Nano receiver, which makes this the perfect plug and play set. This set is also really good for faculty and staff. The best feature about this product is that it's spill proof. So, when I was letting my son use it, I was a little worried, but of course we had some very set rules about no drinks, no food while we were doing schoolwork. But in case, there is actually a thin membrane around the keyboard and underneath the keys. So you can be sure that if you have a coffee spill or a water spill, that it will not be the end of life for your keyboard for life. Ha ha ha. I hope you got that. Just a little bit of Kensington humor there, but that is the name of this keyboard. It is the Keyboard for Life. Um,
Leave
so, uh,
the jokes to me, Tanya.
yeah, I think I should. Um, the next product, I have personally using this next product here. And I love it, not just because I work for Kensington, but it has been a really great addition to my office space. This is our SmartFit One Touch Height Adjustable Monitor Arms. They have a built-in gas spring that provides a full motion articulation, so you can easily customize the position of the monitors depending on your particular workspace. It supports 13 to 32-inch flat or curved monitors weighing up to 19 pounds. If you see on the back, on that picture, you'll see the back there. It also includes a quick release detachable VESA mount plate. So it's really easy to take those monitors off and on. And as you can see, it comes in a single and double arm. Now you'll notice there's a color-coded hand at the bottom right of your screen. This is the hand chart for our patented SmartFit system. So the SmartFit system simplifies your ideal ergonomic height positioning using scientifically proven research to support proper fit. It's so easy to use. You just measure your hand on that chart based on the color. Then you adjust your product based to the color, and you're ready. It's that easy. 3 simple steps. The next product is also part of our SmartFit system. This is the Easy Riser laptop cooling stand. Again, it incorporates that same SmartFit system, allowing teachers and students to find their ideal height for positioning this particular product. My daughter used this and she loved it. So she's tiny, she's a second grader, but it was perfect for her to be able to adjust, especially when it was time for her to do her Teams video calls. And it's also highly portable, which again, she loved because she took this thing all over the house as she was kind of everywhere and wanted to be all over the house doing her work. So I loved it from a parent perspective because I knew that the device was safe and secure. So there are padded inserts that keep your laptop from slipping. And I also liked the increased air circulation. So I knew that it was keeping the laptop cooler, meaning there was less strain on the battery and the internal components of the laptop. So it was really, really great, great for kids, great for teachers. Now to the next one. I am so excited about unveiling this next product. This is new. So this is our black belt second degree rugged case for iPad 10.2. Yay. So hopefully I have some people in the back excited about this particular product, as many of you are starting to move into the 10.2s. It features a military grade drop protection. The Infinity variable kickstand is there for those of you that are familiar with our cases, and a 2-year warranty. This is definitely ideal for those active environments. The case offers full access to all of the ports. Some of the other features are the self-adjusting strap in the back. There is an Apple Pencil holder and tether, and there's also an adhesive screen protector. And there is also the asset tagging area for easy identification that is in the back. So again, this is perfect for on the go, or when you're in the office, you can also pair a keyboard to that. And also part of our Black Belt Rugged Case family is our next product, which is our Microsoft Go and Pro Rugged Cases. So our designers have worked closely with Microsoft as a member of the Designed for Surface program to adapt this particular Black Belt Rugged Case for Surface Go. So it surrounds your student Surface Go in that same military drop protection, military grade drop protection support there, and it has the integrated strap as well. So these have been extremely popular, especially now with everything that's going on. And then last but not least, we have our Chromebook accessories. So this is really exciting for us. We are a proud partner of the Works with Chromebook program, which ensures that a product has been certified to meet Chromebook compatibility standards. So you'll see we have here on the screen, you can see the HDMI. We also have a VGA that's not on the screen. Adapters, there's also a mouse in the box. We have other mice that are also Works with Chromebook certified. And then we also have our Chromebook cases and sleeves just to kind of round out our Chromebook category. Again, many of these products are very popular right now. As Dave mentioned, very easy for you to also go to our website to find this particular section of Works with Chromebook. There is a section specific to this. And with that, I'm going to pass this back to Nick so we can answer any questions that you may have. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Tanya. It was great. Yeah, if we can go to our next slide, there was a question that came up of how do I know who my rep is? So hopefully this answers that question. You'll see contact information for Dave and Tanya. Dave tends to hang out on the East Coast and the South, while Tanya takes the west half of the US. But listen to me, if you email Dave and you're in California, he's going to get you over to Tanya and vice versa. So there's really kind of no wrong answer here. We also, like both Dave and Tanya said, we have on our 2 different landing pages that should be of interest to you folks. One is a solutions page for just straight up K12. It's our universal page. There's a lot of good information. You can find blogs, lots of great content, links to specific products broken into different categories. You can also, there's a contact us form at the bottom. So if you're not sure who to talk to and you just want to fill out that contact us form, we'll get you routed to the right person based on some of the answers you provide. We also had, when kind of the craziness of COVID-19 started in March, developed a Learn from Home page, which also features a lot of great resources for you to go and take a look. Look at Chromebook solutions, solutions for teachers, solutions for students. We kind of broke it up in a way that's just really easy to digest, but really chock full with a lot of content, things you can do for stretching. Get your kids stretching so they're not just sitting. I have a 7-year-old son who just kind of hunkers down, I think like Tanya mentioned, with a laptop, and I got to keep telling him, sit up, you're going to hurt yourself when you're 41 like me. So a lot of great products to look at there, so please go take a look at that. I'm also going to pop in the, before we get to questions, I'm going to pop in the chat section. So this is a little different from the questions. There's a chat section. I'm going to pop a couple links in here. I'm also going to email these out to you after this, but one is to a survey that we're doing right now. I think it's about 10 questions. It's multiple choice. It's really easy. It should take about 2.5 minutes to fill out. We're going to give away one $100 Amazon gift card. We're going to randomly select from the folks who fill out that survey. So I please encourage you to do that survey for us. And then I'm also going to, I'll show you this in a few minutes. I've got a couple of flyers I want to show you. I'm also going to send you some links to check out for teachers, and then for some student success flyers, just some things to look at. But again, I want to really thank Dave and Tanya for putting the time in and helping me out build this webinar. And next, let's get to some questions. I think we've got a lot of good ones, and I'll keep kind of checking these, but a couple that have come in so far, and this is where, Philip, I may need to enlist your services, but let's see. Would a dock work the same at home if we have to teach from home as it does in the classroom? I can take that, Dave. You can also step in here, same kind of thing. Yes, a dock is, what's great about the docking stations is that a lot of them are plug and play. You can pick up and move from one area to the next. They plug in with the cables. Dave, Philip, anyone want to expand on that?
I can add a. Can you guys hear me okay, by the way?
Absolutely.
Cool. So awesome. So yeah, for those who don't know, and I think Nick introduced me a bit earlier, but my name is Philip Gutierrez, and I'm the regional product manager for Kensington, and I manage the entire team to, really what we launch in the U.S. And I think to directly answer that question, to Nick's point, a docking station is going to work exactly how it should anywhere it is. So if it's at home, the way you should look at it is think of it as an arm of your laptop, right? And think of what your laptop is today. The newer laptops, right, they get slimmer and there's less ports, right? So what docking stations are trying to solve is giving you that opportunity to provide you way more flexibility to what you can connect to your laptop, not with just, more ports, but also with video opportunities, right? So now you can have either dual monitors, triple monitors, whatever that is to make your, work life easier at home. A docking station can provide that for you. And the cool thing as well is a majority of them that support USB-C. So let's say if you're using a Chromebook at the house that supports USB-C, our docking stations are also going to provide power to those devices as well. So that way you can keep a laptop power cord inside your bag, and you can keep it for when you're traveling or for other things you may need. So great question though.
Great. And then our next question is kind of a two-parter. Those are two different questions, but they're kind of both around the Verimark. Is there a Verimark fingerprint reader for the Chromebook? And is there a new IT fingerprint reader? And what are the new features? So that's kind of a two-parter there. Philip, if you want to take that one
sure.
as well.
So we have two Verimark readers today. We have our Verimark that Nick showed, which is essentially our generation 1, and then we have our Verimark IT. Both of them have the Windows Hello functionality. What that means is it's really these fingerprint readers are tied to a PC that drives off of Windows. So to your point, does it work with the Chromebook? Unfortunately, being that it's that would be an Android OS or Chrome OS, unfortunately those readers will not, but we are launching a new Verimark reader in about a month and a half, and these readers will specifically be OS agnostic, so it would work with a Chromebook. And essentially what that reader would allow you to do is authenticate yourself to those services. So let's say you're using Gmail on your Chromebook, you'd be able to authenticate yourself through that service. So anyways, hopefully that helps.
Great.
I think it was secondary. Was there a secondary question to that?
Kind of just what's the difference between the new features for the IT, Verimark IT?
Yeah, so the Verimark Gen 1, again, that Nick showed you, it's going to have Windows Hello, right? So it's going to give you access to that PC of yours, which what I mean by that is, you put in your account number, and rather than typing in a password, you can now use our fingerprint reader to give yourself access to that device. Also, it allows you to provide, authenticate yourself to Gmail, Facebook, those types of services that use FIDO as an authentication service. So the differences between that reader and the new Verimark IT that we have in our ecosystem as well is the Verimark IT is going to give you the same sort of functionality with access to your PC. So it has Windows Hello access as well, so it allows you to authenticate yourself to your PC, and you'd be able to enter and do what you normally do. The nice thing about the Verimark IT though is, and it's very I would say centric to the type of IT ecosystem that your school district may be in. And what I mean by that is if you guys are very much more involved with the Microsoft Azure cloud network, so some school districts, again, have cloud services specifically around Microsoft Azure, the Verimark IT actually gives you now functionality to access gives you more access within that confines of the cloud network within Microsoft Azure. So honestly, the easiest way you can really define the differences is if your school district is really all in with Microsoft and again utilizes that Azure cloud network, then the Verimark IT is probably the best bet. The other things in regards to security as well is there's going to be an extra level of security with the Verimark IT because the fingerprints, the match technology that we have with our sensors, the Verimark IT, the match is actually within the fingerprint itself, or within the fingerprint key itself. So what I mean by that is, let's just say you have our Verimark IT and let's say you manage multiple laptops. You have your laptop at your house, but then you also have your laptop at school that uses the same Windows login. The cool thing is with our Verimark ITs, you can actually use that reader and use it for both PCs without having to set it up multiple times, right? So if you're using our Gen 1 reader, you could obviously access multiple devices, but you would just have to set it up every single time over and over to make sure that your fingerprint would be able to match with the PC. So hopefully I didn't complicate that answer.
Now, and like I mentioned earlier, our website has a lot of great breakdown of these features, and like I said, there's some cool videos that explain, and we're coming out with new content every day that kind of helps explain those differences. So just keep checking Kensington.com, and if you're not finding the answer, check in with Dave or Tanya, and we can certainly get that answer to you. Thank you, Philip. And I got a couple more that's probably going to be in your domain, Philip. So hope you're settled in. Do you have a keyboard and mouse for iMac desktop computers?
So honestly, an iMac desktop computer, they all have Bluetooth functionality. So
Sure.
any of our keyboards that support Bluetooth connectivity would work just fine. We've tested them with that platform, and they would work great. So I would recommend that just any of our Bluetooth keyboards with that functionality could be used. So I'll let Tanya and Dan or Dave provide those SKUs for you guys if that's an interest for you. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And to that point, I work on a Mac and I have Kensington laptop or a keyboard and mouse right in front of me. So I know I can attest that they work very well. How does the black belt case for Surface work with the side dock power plug?
Side dock power plug. Yeah. So so one thing, and I know Tanya mentioned it a bit, is we're part of this Design for Surface program, which I think some people kind of go, okay, great, that means it works for Surface, right? Like I hope that it does. It's a case for Surface. But the nice, unique thing about this badge is it's not something that we can just proclaim that we are designed for Surface, but it's actually the reason is we actually co-engineer our cases with Microsoft, and they actually have to give it the seal of approval. Besides quality, but it's also just how it connects with Microsoft's other peripherals. And to your point, how does it work with that docking station? Let's just say you have our case on the Surface Pro or Surface Go. There's actually access to that port, so that way you can still utilize your Surface docking station as well if that's something that you guys use in your school district. It also will allow you to use your USB port as well. It really doesn't cover any of the port access for anything that you would use for your Surface, so you'd be a-okay there.
Okay, great. Would your reader, I'm assuming the fingerprint reader, work on a large Xerox copier? We were told to purchase a reader for ours.
Unfortunately not. My guess is, with the Xerox copy, you're probably going to have to find a reader that is going to be completely compatible with that, which again, interesting. I didn't know. I don't know how you would it'd have to be some sort of generic reader that has no OS compatibility with it. Ours are all very PC centric with our Verimark and Verimark IT. Even our new Verimark that's OS agnostic, it still has to be tied off to a device that has some sort of OS, which a Xerox copy would not. So anyways, yeah, unfortunately, you might have to reach out to Xerox to figure that one out. Unfortunately, ours would not be compatible.
All right. And then besides a box, do you have any recommendation for raising laptop Surface Pro for proper webcam height for video conferencing? And I mean, this, if you recall back to Tanya presented the SmartFit Easy Riser laptop cooling stand. This is a fantastic. It's something my MacBook sits on, and it's perfect for all video conferencing webcam heights. So any one of our rising stands will work perfectly for doing that, and frees you up to use that box for something else. Let's see, I think we got a couple more here. Will the dock work with cell phones if a teacher has info on their phone? Not quite sure I understand the question. Phil,
I can kind of bring a little bit of clarity to that. So first off, it really depends on the type of cell phone you have. All cell phones aren't created equal, and all docking stations aren't either, right? So I would say the only cell phone today that we have compatibility with is if anyone in the audience has a Samsung phone with the latest Android OS. The cool thing is Samsung actually built something within their phones with their new OS that essentially is called Samsung DeX, which means that if you were to connect it to any of our USB-C driverless docking stations, so like the one that Nick showed, for example, the ST2000, if you were to connect that docking station to a Samsung cell phone, again, with the latest OS, it actually provides you almost like you're connecting it to a laptop, and it'll give you full functionality to an external monitor. It'll provide power delivery. You'll allow to have a keyboard, mouse, everything. So it's actually really awesome. And then if you go to our website and you look up like the ST2000, we actually have a bullet point there about Samsung DeX and how that functionality works. Unfortunately, though, that's where it stands. Let's say you have an iPhone. Unfortunately, iPhones do not have, or Apple has not brought that functionality to an iPhone yet. So you would not be able to do anything outside of just charging your iPhone, unfortunately.
Great. Okay, and then let's see, one other question here. Do you have a dock like this? So I'm assuming like the one of the two that we just showed that has a VGA connection. And
yeah. So we definitely have docking stations with VGA. So there's a couple ways you can go about it. We have our USB 3.0 docking stations, some of our entry-level docking stations that will have VGA on the backside for your external monitor. Also, one of the docking stations that you guys showed in the presentation, I believe, was our SD1600, which is our mini dock. The really cool thing about that docking station is literally the size probably of your hand. And what you do is you connect that into your laptop, and you now have the opportunity to connect to either HDMI or VGA as your external monitor to give you that video functionality. So yeah, we definitely have a couple options for you.
Great. Okay, Phil, thank you so much. I'm super glad you were on with us, or else I'd be stammering and stuttering through all of these, and I'd be like, I'll get back to you. So thank you very much Philip for joining us. And that kind of wraps it up for questions. Like I said, if we can go to our next slide here, Frank, I want to show a couple of flyers. I'm going to include the link into our chat. You should already see the survey available in the chat section. I'm also, like I said, going to email these around, but in case anyone like me enjoys that instant gratification, you can get these right now. So check the chat for all three of the links. The two flyers are downloaded PDFs, and then the other link for the survey is going to take you to SurveyMonkey survey. And with that brings us to an end. I've given you back 15 minutes. Hopefully you can go enjoy the rest of your lunch or get started on your next project. Again, I want to thank everybody who joined us on my side. First and foremost, Dave, Tanya, Phil, Frank, thank you for running this for us. But thank you to everyone who attended.